All right, breaking right now, a story out of Texas. We're watching a massive explosion rocked a northwest Houston neighborhood. It happened about 2 hours ago. Officials say they're not clear exactly what happened, but residents have reported broken windows and doors from that blast. At least one person seen walking around with injuries. Firefighters going door to door too, making sure that neighbors there are okay. The apparent blast happened at an industrial site, but the impact going out further, miles away. Crews are also being advised to get out of the area because they're fearing another explosion could happen. Of course, we'll be following this story. You can learn more about it on Good Morning America right after our newscast. Now, here are some of the local headlines you need to know.
Breaking overnight, Tallahassee Fire Department worked for at least a few hours to contain this fire on Lake Iomonia Drive. The ABC 27 first told you about this incident on our newscast last night at 11. This morning, that house is a total loss.
The 4,000 square foot home caught fire shortly after 8 o'clock Tuesday night. Off-duty fire and rescue personnel showed up first and got at least 3 people out of that house. They helped the owners get their pet birds out safely too. The first unit on the scene had to actually pull back because the fire was too intense. In all, 6 different units worked to put the fire out, including 2 volunteer crews. Tallahassee fire officials say at this time that fire is under investigation and thankfully no one was injured.
Before you head out the door, here is one major thing that you need to know about your Wednesday morning commute.
If you are driving out in the area of Colonial Drive and Thomasville Road, all northbound lanes on Thomasville Road between 7th Avenue and 9th Avenue currently closed. The northbound lanes on North Gadsden Street to 7th Avenue also closed for several hours. Tallahassee police telling us there is a tree down and the power lines too are down. They want you to avoid the area, so find an alternative route. Right now, investigators are trying to figure out what caused a small plane to crash in a pasture, killing all 3 people on board. Traffic controllers say they lost contact with the plane while flying over northeast Georgia near Oconee County. The names of the victims have not yet been released.
And in Florida, a man is behind bars this morning for stalking and threatening families of Parkland shooting victims. Brandon Michael Flory was sentenced to more than 5 years in prison. Deputies say that he used 13 different Instagram accounts to target the families for weeks.
Democratic presidential candidate Mike Bloom made a stop in Florida Tuesday. The billionaire made a campaign visit in Miami, West Palm Beach, and Orlando after disappointing results in Super Tuesday primaries, though. Bloomberg is expected to make a major announcement today about his campaign.
And now for some beautiful images from Palm Beach this morning. Take a look at that. A drone photographer captured this footage of at least 15 dolphins just swimming, leaping, and just having a good old time in the ocean. The pod is stuck around for several minutes, and as you can see, they just put on quite a show. Time is now 5:15 this Monday morning, and a lot of news trending statewide across both Georgia and Florida over the weekend.
Now let's start in Florida, where a situation in a Florida Walmart parking lot could have ended deadly. A man is behind bars this morning in Jacksonville, accused of driving a van through a voter registration tent filled with Trump campaign volunteers. It happened Saturday. 27-year-old Gregory Timms now faces a number of charges, including aggravated assault, criminal mischief, and driving on a suspended driver's license. No one was hurt in this incident, and it's unclear if it was politically motivated.
2 U.S. soldiers were killed in an attack in Afghanistan. Both Javier Gutierrez from Texas and Antonio Rodriguez from New Mexico were part of U.S. Special Forces. They were both based at Elgin Air Force Base just outside of Destin, and that attack is still under investigation.
And take a look at your screen right now. These peanut packages, they're being recalled this morning due to possible contamination with listeria. The product was shipped to several locations in Florida. The FDA says this is a high-risk recall. Consumers are urged to return the products and ask for a refund.
And in Georgia, a small plane crash killed 4 people. Now, right after takeoff, the plane disappeared from the radar, and it was later found in a remote area of Gordon County. Now, it was snowing at the time, but it's still not clear if weather was a factor in the crash. An investigation is going on right now.
And check out this story. Some flight attendants in Atlanta helped a little girl find her daddy doll. Kinley Britton lost the doll her deployed father gave her, with a picture and voice message from him. That girl and her mother were traveling down to Florida when the doll got lost, and after posting on Facebook, the air company tracked that doll that was found in Atlanta. Kinley is only 18 months old.
And this week, archaeologists will dig a little deeper to find some more details on a long-forgotten African-American cemetery.
This is down in Pinellas County, Florida. 44 potential African-American graves found at the shuttered Pinellas County School. Researchers with Cardno and the University of South Florida used some ground-penetrating radar in early February to search portions of the school property. The NAACP, the city, and the school district are now working on a more detailed report.
In Tampa, deputies are investigating a hit-and-run crash that killed a 5-year-old boy over the weekend. Elijah Rogers was flown to the Tampa General Hospital where he was later pronounced dead. His mother was also injured, but she is expected to survive.
And this Jacksonville teacher is accused of stealing drugs from a colleague. The victim says her Adderall pills disappeared from her purse. A surveillance video shows fellow teacher Megan Mary Jones was the only person to enter the room. Jones is now charged with grand theft of a controlled substance.
Meanwhile, in Georgia, the state's political season kicks into high gear today as qualifying for the state and federal offices begins. And some voters will also make their first experience with the state's new voting machines as early voting begins for the March 24th presidential primary. Qualifying closes at noon on Friday.
And for the first time in 20 years, Atlanta's Olympic flame is burning over an athletic competition. The cauldron was lit Saturday morning for the 2020 Olympic U.S. Marathon Trials in downtown Atlanta. The last time that cauldron was lit was way back in 1996. Time now is 5:05 Sunday. Thousands of people accomplished a major goal running in the Tallahassee Annual Marathon.
Now, some were amateurs, other elite runners, but no matter the skill level, trust me, all that excitement and dedication was felt all weekend long. Our Laura Buring has more.
27. It's so heartwarming to see that. Now, Greg's time was 2 hours, 58 minutes, 52 seconds, while Morseman's was 2 hours, 25 minutes, 57 seconds. I mean, those seconds and minutes matter. Brian, you and so many others ran in that race. How well did you do, though?
I finished. That's the important thing. It was a lot of fun, and thank you guys to all the support out there for folks kind of rooting us on as we were running all over the city. I actually got a chance to explore different parts of the city I hadn't even seen before.
All right, let's bring in Reed, because I know Reed took part in that race too. Heartwarming. I was so proud of y'all. What was your time, Reed?
Yeah, like Brian said, we finished it.
Right.
I could still walk this morning almost, so I think it's a win for everybody.
Yeah.
I'll do it.
I got a song for y'all. Let's go. Let's go. Representing, I'm here to let you know. If you set them, you can reach your goal. Stay focused, you can be on top. Don't let the failure make you want to stop. They saying Z is the last at the alphabet. Not know I'm the one to get you lit. Improve your skills, do a drill. This thing is real. Let me tell you how I feel. Take a
Get it, girl? Ladies and gentlemen, this is rapper Z singing AR Gold. Zaria is a second grader at Sealy Elementary School. She wrote the song to encourage students to read. Now, if you know anything about AR goals, as a parent, we had those goals, like 20 books that you had to read.
Man.
She
I'm
got
impressed.
some major bars. Zaria also says she loves her school and her principal, Demetria Clemens.
So definitely super shout out to all of you out there. If you see something out there that's pretty cool like this, make sure you hit us up on social media by using the hashtag Sunrise Shoutout.
Top that, Reed.
I'm not even going to try, Angela. I'd embarrass myself up here. I'll talk about the weather, though. It is a little rainy outside for some of you. You might want to grab that rain.
Time now for your Sunrise Shout Out. This is the Youth Leadership Tallahassee class during Public Safety Day. They got the chance to learn all about law enforcement and training with firefighters and the Consolidated Dispatch Agency. The program gathers dozens of high school juniors from Tallahassee schools who want to become leaders.
And a big shout out to the law enforcement. We love to share your stories, so make sure you guys reach out to us on social media.
Yeah, you can simply use the hashtag Sunrise Shout Out to make sure we know about these events. We want to know about them.
When you build that relationship with your students, you literally just got closer to getting them to learn. You know, even after class, you talk to me. They know office hours every single day. Come talk to me, get to know them, build the relationships. And when you do that, the content, teaching the content is your engagement because that's your personality. That's the you build that relationship and that connection with them.
Now, that is teacher Trakia White from Augusta Robb Middle School in Tallahassee. She was chosen as the Teacher of the Year in 2019, and now she's sharing some important tips to make sure students enjoy her class. A big shout out to her, and thank you so much for the job you do in the classrooms. You know, as a parent, it's so important for teachers to have that connection to those students.
You can just look in her eyes and see how much she really cares about every single one of her students. So congratulations and a big shout out to you as well as all of our teachers out there.
This is video of the amazing students and staff and parents from Hartsville Elementary School getting all hyped up right before they took the grand stage at Carnegie Hall last night. You may recall they had to raise $65,000 to make that trip happen, and many of you pitched in to make it all happen. Definitely deserving of this morning's sunrise shout out. I think the donors and those students get a shout out this morning.
Everybody was super happy, right? Got a chance to see them off to New York City last week, and just those smiles, something you would never forget. Now, so far, in addition to performing, they've gotten a chance to see the Empire State Building, a Broadway show, the Statue of Liberty. So make sure you check out their Facebook page to help cheer them on.
Yep, taking in a little bit of history while they're up there. Now, they will be back late tonight, of course. We'll be following up with them after they get some much-needed rest. Don't forget now, if you see something that deserves a sunrise shout-out, just hit us up on social media. See that hashtag at the bottom of your screen, sunrise shout-out.
Yeah, your time is now 6:07 this Monday morning, and read live article.
If you're headed out the door right now, this is what you'll find. Dense fog remains an issue for drivers across the Big Bend. Here's a look at North Monroe Street at John Knox Road. And if you're headed out on I-10, you need to pay attention. Those advisories are posted.
Good morning to you and happy Thursday. I'm Brian Jackson.
And I'm Angela Green. Reed Leibarger joins us on the desk this morning. All week long, we've seen that fog out.
Yeah, this is the fourth morning in a row with dense fog advisories. The good news is I think it is the last one.
All right.
You got a cold front coming through today. So that's good news. But again, it's been so warm lately. We have been seeing that fog form in the mornings. It's not fun to drive in. We know that. Again, you kind of get a brief explainer here. When it's so warm and you got all this moisture in place, temperatures are well above normal. It doesn't take much for that air to reach its saturation point. Just has to cool off a few degrees, and that's pretty much what we've been doing every single morning. And that dense fog has been lingering with calm winds. And if you look outside over Tallahassee right now, a pretty similar look to that graphic right there. You got a log of fog in place over Doak Campbell Stadium. Can't see too far. So dense fog advisories remain in effect until 9 a.m. till about...
Take a look at this video out of Tennessee. Rescuers searched through shattered neighborhoods for bodies Tuesday after tornadoes ripped across Nashville and other parts of the state as families slept. At least 24 people were killed, some in their beds. Authorities said that twisters struck in the hours after midnight, shredding more than 140 buildings and buried people in piles of rubble and wrecked basements. Thanks for waking up with us on Sunrise. I'm Angela Green.
I'm Brian Jackson. Now, those pictures are just really kind of hard to look at this morning. Now, Reed, we've got some severe weather headed this way. Is it that same system that really impacted that Nashville community?
So I wouldn't say the same, but related. Definitely a good word to use there. A couple progressive systems working through, and that's why we have a severe threat not only today, but tomorrow too. So we got a couple busy days coming up here. You're going to want to stay weather aware if you got plans, anything outside or even inside. Again, severe weather, something that you don't want to take lightly here across the Big Bend. Looking outside, starting to brighten up a bit. It's gloomy outside. It's overcast. Look at the temperature, 71 degrees. That's warmer than your average high for today. Again, it's warm outside. It's muggy. We got heavy rainfall in the forecast for today, mainly north of I-10, southern Georgia and Jackson County, further west down the Panhandle as well, under a flash flood.
All right, your time now is 5:08. We are checking the pump patrol for you this morning with some good news. Florida gas prices declined an average of 7 cents per gallon. That's setting a new 2020 low of $2.37 on Sunday. Now, AAA reports this drop could be a result of the spread of the mysterious coronavirus. Market watchers are concerned the virus could lead to even less global fuel demand, and that growing concern led to lower crude prices last week, which lowers the cost of producing gas. Now, in the Big Bend, the best prices right now are in Leon and Gaston County, where you will be paying a little bit less at the pump right now. In Gaston County, Jackson County, prices are even lower, an average of $2.31 per gallon. And the most expensive is in Wakulla County, where neighbors will pay about $2.56 per gallon on average. Now, over in Georgia, pretty good prices in Brooks, Lowndes, and Eccles County, where folks won't pay more than $2.33 per gallon. In Decatur and Thomas County, we're looking at $2.40 to $2.34 per gallon, a bit higher than other locations in the area. And you can always count on ABC 27 to track the best deals for you. You can also check out our gas tracker on our website, WTXL.TV. Just look for that gas tracker tab and make sure you save some dollars at the pump. All right, thank you, Reed. Your time now is 6:38. As you make your way out the door this morning for your morning commute, let's check on your gas prices. Florida drivers may soon see significant savings at the gas pump. Stock market prices for crude oil and gasoline plummeted last week amid concerns that the coronavirus will reduce global demand for products like jet fuel and gasoline. Well, right now, Florida's average is sitting at $2.34 in Leon and Gaston counties. Those prices are around $2.38 per gallon. Over in Wakulla and Jefferson, you'll pay a bit more. The average is at $2.47 in Wakulla and $2.52 in Jefferson County. Over in Georgia, neighbors have better deals this morning. The state's average is $2.25, and that's the price you'll pay in both Thomas and Decatur counties. But over in Grady County, folks are paying $2.36 per gallon. And don't forget, you can always check out our free gas tracker to find the best deals all across the Big Bend. Just look for WTXL.TV's gas tracker on our website.
Time is now 6:40.
All right, check this out. A California homeowner turned a sprinkler into a security guard aimed directly at would-be thieves. She posted this video from the security camera. You can see a person on that bike coming to her property. When he gets too close to her truck, though, he's hit with that powerful jet of water and he quickly bikes away. She says thieves have been stealing tools and other items from cars in the area. So she set up that motion-activated sprinkler to protect her possessions. The move proved to be very effective. I didn't realize it was in a bucket in the back of her car.
Like you definitely never saw that coming.
Nope.
Like
Not
in the
ever.
face.
I like that. I would try to bait people in with some valuables right by my garage door. Spray them down. Look at that content they gave us.
Fast,
Oh
right?
boy, I gotta work on y'all.